Work here, come on.
It said recording starting.
Did it? Oh, my computer's fucking fucked. Welcome back to Maniacal Music Musings, your favorite Death Valley superstars. I'm your host, Jeremy, and I fucking love to say fuck, motherfucker, and you know it. I'll tell you though, I'm bored till death every week until it's time to listen to the albums and return to Muserland. As you all know, I'd like to give you a little piece of advice every week, and this week that advice is just want to remind you, a corpse is a corpse. Unless you're dead in Hollywood, then, you can do what you want there. I don't mind. But wait, I said wait. Line up and do the Christian dance song for my co-host. He avoids the China White, but loves a fake healer of unsound mind. The powers that be cast that spell that can't be broken on him. It's a secret. It's a secret what it does to him. He won't tell me even. But all I know is he is full of oral spunk when he sings his anthem to the estranged in his dark place alone. He knows nothing's gonna be alright until the discontent of his white wedding. CJ motherfucking playing the music god himself, everybody.
And I do it all out in the Badlands.
I didn't. That's not on my list. That's why it's not in the intro. But welcome back, folks, to another fun week with your musers. And do we have a guest for you this week? It's his first time on a regular show, but you goddamn well better know his voice by now. He's been on 6 or 8 of these specials. Folks, we are being joined by the one and only Mr. Dark himself.
Hello. Yeah, I decided to make a cameo appearance. I'll be like Frosty the Snowman. I'll be back again someday. But it's just a little quick. Just thought I'd pop in and say hello.
Well, these take a lot less time than the brackets do as well, so it's not as much of a commitment.
God!
It's not as much of a... Well, okay. If CJ doesn't go down wormholes, then it's a whole nother thing. But
I mean, we were regularly going over 2 hours on some of those brackets, so.
Oh, trust me, my wife reminds me of that constantly. But I guess she have this goes over an hour for fuck's sake. But I live. I would tell her to deal with it. It's the only podcast I do every week, basically, at this point. But folks, actually, I gotta ask because I don't know what Mr. Dark does in the music world. I don't think we ever even discussed it. He was a recommendation. He was a recommendation by my favorite male stripper.
Over the years, way back in the day, I had a band like everybody did when the dinosaurs wore spandex. I had those. But then I became a journalist, and I've written about music and all other kinds of media right up until about 10 years ago. And that was when I finally stopped. But I'm looking to get back into it. So we'll see. I spent most of that time writing about the horror world and things related, but even during that, I was often the music guy because I was the guy who just said, "Hey, can I review this music?" And they were like, "Fuck, sure, we need content." But yeah, I throughout all my teens and 20s, I was in the zine world, running around reviewing concerts, following bands, doing all that almost famous shit, just I never got any groupies. I will have you know. I was never debauched. I was hanging around with all the roadies, bunch of surly guys that look like we do now.
Hey, a good roadie's hard to come by, but
true.
And I mean, hey, maybe you and CJ crossed paths at some point in that world because he was in a band back in those days.
I mean, I wrote for Maximum Rock and Roll and had a college radio show out in San Francisco before pop punk exploded.
So you were legit. I was never legit. I was writing for little dinky things that were all.
I wrote for anybody that would take my shit at that point. I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't even about money. I just wanted to be involved in some kind of way. Talk about music. It's basically what we do now. It's
right.
All this knowledge I have of music, 4 million songs in 100+ genres. It's good for absolutely nothing except to do this.
I always tell people I spent, almost 30 years as a journalist and I never made a single nickel. I never got paid for anything.
It is an
But,
expensive
you know,
hobby.
I learned a lot of useless crap.
You know?
It's like
I got a lot of stories.
It's like being a podcaster. Hey,
Same thing. I make a podcast, and I have not made. I always tell people I have 12 listeners, down from 15. I don't know what happened to those 3 people, but they're gone. So, but yeah, I'm hoping that's kind of why I'm taking a sabbatical from here, is because I need to be putting time in actually making it so people listen to the podcast. So maybe it pays for itself, because I can't afford the $15 a month in hosting fees.
yeah.
That's why I'm going to school right now for it. I figured if I'm going to do this shit, I might as well learn to do it properly from people that have made a living in it. So
yeah,
you know,
I just figured it out. I can't afford school. I just made it up as I went along, an accident. And you know, hey, you know, being in music, you learn a lot. I've already knew a lot about, you know, things like making a mix so that you can listen to it, because I had to do that various times. But anyway,
Yeah, I mean, it's all I can say is pod match. You get paid to have guests on. It's the greatest thing in the fucking world. It literally just saved my ass again this week when I ran out of money, and all of a sudden this show's pod match paid out a little bit. And I was like, oh, thank you. That's amazing. I need it. It's always when I need it. It's always when I need it. It just works that way.
Well, I'm going to have to look into that, because, like I said, nobody listens to me. No.
Yeah.
But it's also just me.
Actually,
I do everything. The voices, the effects, the mixing, the writing, all of it. It's just me being weird.
Oh, well, yeah, you can't get paid for guests if you have no guests. So I can't.
I have guests, but they're me. So that's, you know, yeah, I have interview segments. It's just all me. So that tends to be a problem. People don't pay you to listen to the voices in your head. They like voices that are actually audible.
I'd be rich if that was the case.
Yeah.
But all right, well, let's get to this, because I'm dying to talk about this first album.
Mm-hmm.
So, as always, the guest goes first. What album did you want to bring us, Mr. Dark, and why this one?
I had about 15 seconds to come up with an idea, and this album just had revisited my brain recently. So it was like, oh, there you go. Metal Church, who is currently experiencing about their 5th resurrection. This band just won't die. They've put 2 vocalists in the ground, and they're still going. Now they're back with a whole new lineup. Dave Ellefson from Megadeth is in there, and a bunch of other people. And they're going to go back at it, touring, doing another record. But this is Blessing in Disguise. This was their breakthrough record. They did a couple records before it, and in the metal world, they got attention. And even on MTV, there were a couple videos that got a little spin, like on Headbangers Ball, if anybody remembers that noise. But Blessing in Disguise, you know, they had already been on Elektra Records, but ironically, their third album, their final album on Elektra Records, was the first one to actually get any kind of push. And what happened was they did a video for a song called Badlands, and it actually hit. It was getting airplay. I remember the first time I heard Metal Church on the radio, I had an out-of-body experience. It's like, wait, what? But yeah, so Blessing in Disguise was a big deal. It was their first record without David Wayne, their original vocalist, who went on to do Reverend, which I'm going to probably, if I do another one of these, that may be the album I choose, is that first Reverend record. Oh my God. But yeah, so Mike Howe came on board, and John Marshall came on board as guitarist. Kurt Vanderhoof was still running the band behind the scenes, but he left the band, and I've never really read a good explanation for why that happened. But John Marshall, what's that?
He had a wrist injury.
Was that it?
He the same thing that Dave Mustaine is suffering now.
Oh,
he was suffering at the time, and he had to work through it for physical therapy, which is why he wrote most of the record and recorded most of the record, but he couldn't tour.
Yeah.
So he stepped back for Marshall to come in.
You know, Marshall's a guy that everybody knows, but nobody knows, because if you remember back when James Hetfield got burnt up on stage way back when, he couldn't play guitar for the rest of that tour, and he had somebody play it off stage. John Marshall. John Marshall was Hetfield's guitar tech and knew everything because Marshall is an absolute beast. So, yeah, it wasn't exactly an all-star lineup, but there was a big change, and they had there was a change in the songwriting. I'm not saying they went more commercial at all, but Blessing in Disguise has a very cohesive sound, and I credit a lot of that to Terry Date, which is also, yes, he produced their first album in '84, but Terry Date had since gone on to do, worked with this little band called Pantera, a few other people, and was really kind of the guy right then. And I think he really took this record and made it one cohesive beast of just power metal glory. It really is the sound that people now identify with Metal Church. It's got a certain amount of melody to it. It's not, certainly not the cookie cutter, Cookie Monster vocals.
But to be fair, Terry hadn't worked with Pantera yet when he did this record. Pantera came 2 years later.
Oh, I got the dates backwards. I thought this came out in 91 and Pantera came out in 89. No, got it backwards.
Pantera was 91. Terry had worked with Fate's Warning before.
Yes.
This, and a few other bands like that. But Pantera is what put him on the map.
He was still on the rise, but either way, in that era,
still well known.
That 89 to 91 era was when it became kind of that stamp of approval. Like if you saw a record came out produced by Terry Date, you just bought the record. You just knew, okay, this is going to be what I want, because he was doing this kind of new wave, moving away from the hair metal and moving into the just metal. The guys that would actually survive the death of metal, quote unquote, in the late 80s, early 90s. But yeah, so that the sound of this record is what I think most people identify as the Metal Church sound. Everything they've done since kind of has this feel. Well, for the most part, they've had a couple clunkers. And there are some tracks on this record that are just unbelievable. The Rest in Pieces, April 15th, 1912, which is the second track. It's just 7 minutes. They break down musically the entire Titanic disaster. It's the music tells the story as much as the lyrics do. And they actually did like a deep dive on references in the lyrics that are historically accurate. And it's that alone. Take my money. But, of course, Badlands. I mean, anybody who's heard Badlands knows that is just an all-time classic song. That gets stuck in your head, and once you've heard the chorus once, you'll remember it forever. It is just that catchy. There's no bad songs on the record. It is just really, really good, punchy, heavy, but still accessible power metal.
Well, since I'm the virgin ears in this one, I'm gonna let CJ give his review first because I have a feeling it ain't gonna be that long.
He covered the majority of it. I mean, I became a fan of Metal Church from the very first record. Let the children pray. It was a big bombastic record. It came at a time around the same time as Death Angel did Act 3. Dark Angel did I think it was Holocaust, something along that line, or Toxic. Exodus did Toxic Waltz. So there was a bunch of records that came out around that time period that were just massive sounding speed metal thrash records. And this one, Mike Howe came in. Mike, phenomenal singer. Sadly lost him a couple of years ago to suicide.
I'm still pissed.
I really liked their newest one they did with Mark Lopez, and then something happened. They changed singers, and it made no sense because I thought Mark brought this record back to the front because Mark was, holy shit. That dude was just like, where the fuck did he come from?
Yeah. And now there's so much drama. Oh God, the drama.
Yeah. But all things given, this is a great record. Again, as flawless as just about any record you could get from that era. I was very happy to see it because I knew immediately what I wanted. I know the record I wanted to do. It's not fucking online anywhere, and so I went with my second choice, which we'll get into. But yeah, I wanted to counter with Cyclone Temple. I hate, therefore I am.
Ooh.
But it's not online anywhere for you guys to listen to.
Best thrash record of all time. And it has been completely out of print for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
40
am
years.
very, very, very good friends with G, with Greg. So
the best rhythm guitarist of all time. There's never been anybody faster and more solid than G.
He was the one who wrote all the records. He's a lead guitarist.
Just band.
But
it's his rhythm playing.
He's fucking hilarious.
God.
Yeah. So if you know, you know. If you don't,
yeah.
Anyways, moving along. Perfect record. Happy to see it. Please take it from here.
I've heard the name Metal Church. It's not the first time I'm hearing this name, and I kind of knew what to expect. I didn't expect it to be so good and like it so much. I did not expect that. I hear a lot of band names thrown at me over the years, and Metal Churches, I've heard it multiple times. I'm just like, all right, I'll get to it one day. I'm pretty sure Chancey brought it up at some point or another. Like, not an album, but like,
I'll be right back.
I'm pretty sure he brought up the name of it at some point. It didn't sound like I thought it would sound like. I expected it to be a lot heavier and a lot more.
And you probably expected cheese. It's got a cheesy name,
Yeah.
Got kind of the cheesy band photo cover.
Well, they all did
coming out of that era, right?
They all did back then. They all did, but I expected more rough vocals. I expected it to be like the beginning of like almost Cradle of Filth type music.
Oh,
and that's what I was expecting because that's. But I was surprised. This is actually the era of metal I freaking love. I mean, he mentioned earlier, Act 3, like that album. That got brought on a couple months ago by one of my podcasters, a friend, and I freaking love that album. Even though I never heard, I've heard Death Angel too. I never heard that album, and I was amazed by that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
This one blew me away. I'm not gonna say I loved every song on the album. That's definitely not true. I liked them all. They were all good songs, but I didn't love every single song. I didn't know that one was about the Titanic. If I knew that song was about the Titanic, it might have made more sense. And I had to go back now and listen to that and like have that in mind.
Oh, dude, that's a holy relic.
Yeah. This is one of my most prized. It's actually signed by Greg on the back.
Oh, man.
I've had
that's a holy relic right there. That is a holy artifact. Blessed by the Lord.
So, anywho.
But this album blew me away. I mean, the drums throughout the whole thing were freaking incredible. The guitar was very good. It was really good. I'm not gonna say it was the most incredible guitar I've ever heard in my life, but it was really good. And I like the singer's voice. I mean, I read that this band went through a lot of changes with like lineup. So I played the first music video I saw on YouTube by them, and I'm like, this does not sound like the album I just listened to at all. But I'm like, not at all. But I got fucking 6 songs of it that I fucking loved. So I'm not gonna lie, it was a good album, and I followed them on Spotify because I want to see the rest of their stuff and see which singers I like, which ones I don't like. So
it's very uneven. There was a lot of years in there where after Mike Howe left and before he came back, there's a lot of uneven stuff in there, man.
You could hear like the remnants of hair metal in this a little bit, though. You could hear the remnants of hair metal. But you could hear the beginning of bands like Avantasia in it too. Like
it was an evolution. It was during that phase, like I said, where they were leaving hair metal behind, and it was getting more serious. Avantasia is another band that did that. They started out very hair everywhere, and looking at the video for Hall of the Mountain King is just hilarious. The song's amazing, but that video is just
Pantera. Pantera started as a glam metal.
Pantera, boom.
With Terry Lee Flood, who went on to do,
he's back.
Hilarious. Yeah,
he's got a new band. They're playing. I'm in Dallas. They're playing all over Dallas. Go figure. That was not on my bingo card.
I figured he was going to make it back. He's been doing the other thing for years, just kind of underground. but you know,
He's doing a big push. He's all over local media, social media. He's really trying to cash
yeah,
in on this. I think he thinks, look, if Pantera can be back without the Abbotts, I can be back without the Abbotts. So here we go.
right.
And most of
And,
Dallas is like, no, Terry, no, sit down. Go. Arby's will need you for your shift, Terry.
well, if you had to pick top 5 tracks off this album, what would it be there, Mr. Dark?
I mean, the Rest in Pieces, you know, again, to me, that's just one of the best metal tracks of all time. Badlands, absolutely. The Powers That Be, that ends the record. You know, a lot of this is kind of a downbeat record. It's a very dark record, but then The Powers That Be is like, it's in a major key, and it's the last thing you would expect, and it's perfect. It just fits. Fake Healer is always a classic. They even re-recorded it with Todd from Queensryche a couple years ago, and that was fantastic. And then I'd have to say of Unsound Mind, because I'm a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan, and that one's very different too, because Marshall wrote it, not Vanderhoof. So it's got a very more of a progressive feel to it, very kind of disjointed sounding, but I like it. It fits because it's about madness, so it should sound a little crazy.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I like a game of songs there about Poe. I brought on Rage's album, The Missing Link, a couple months ago, and they got like 3 tracks in that are based on Poe stories, and they're freaking incredible. The rest of the album's hit or miss, but I actually almost brought a Rage album today, because there was a Rage album that came out the same year I almost brought, but I was like, yeah, and it was actually a lot better than Missing Link, so I was like, ooh, but I was like, yeah, I went through a bunch of choices before I got to this one that I ended up bringing, but we'll get to that in a bit. But CJ, what would be your top tracks off of this album?
Number 5, I got Rest in Pieces. Obviously, the Titanic story. I was born April 20th, so Titanic is kind of a big historical thing for me because it's near my birthday. And one of my best memories, my grandmother, from about 1910 on to her death, was a member of the National Geographic Society. She had every single magazine that was ever printed during that time for almost 80 years. And she kept them in her basement, cataloged like a library. You know, she had these little black things, but they went by year: 1910, 1911, 1912, 1913.
Wow.
And you know, there was each little black thing had January, February, March, April, May, June, had all the things, and every year was in one thing. And one of my favorite magazines was, there was a special Titanic edition. It had this massive 6-foot long, 4-foot high pull-out map that had like a cross section, hand drawn Titanic, all the people listed. It was just amazing. So really love anything to do with that. Powers That Be is number 4. The Spell That Can't Be Broken is number 3. Number 2 is Badlands. But number 1, I have spent my entire metal career trying to recreate Anthem to the Estranged with songs such as Begotten by Hatred, I Am. I mean, I've got a dozen songs that were basically are direct ripoffs of Anthem to the Estranged. Anthem to the Estranged has been ripped off by every major thrash metal band. Testament ripped it off with God damn it, I forgot the name of the song. The one on Souls of Black. They did a song just like it. Exodus did a song like it. Overkill did a song like. Once that song came out, every band copied the blueprint for that sort of ballad with these big bombastic. Even Unforgiven by Metallica is kind of a
yeah. I can hear that.
You know,
everybody wanted to do the big ballad. All of a sudden, the thrash bands wanted to do a
it was
big
the ballad that it had that slow build.
Yeah,
it started out with the acoustic guitar, and it just built up to the climax of just a boom. And even Cyclone Temple has a song called "Why,"
Yep.
Which essentially is,
Yeah, but man, when that song kicks in, boy, does it kick in. It's
Dear
like,
mother,
it's
dear
slow,
father,
it's slow, it's slow, and then pop, 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 pop. It's like, okay. Oh, hold on.
I'm
Seatbelts.
sorry. It's dear mom and dad. I write this letter telling you I'm now free. It was your love of lack and attention. That is what killed me.
Yep.
Not some heavy metal record to cover your own neglect. The perfect child turned fatal portrait is what you come to expect. And then it just blows in and just, yeah.
Sorry, this is becoming a Cyclone Temple episode now, just so you know.
I'm
Hijacking.
sorry. Dude, I wanted to bring this record on here for so long, and I've mentioned it a dozen times. And their second record is available, but not the first one.
And the
I'm
second
like,
record isn't even really their second record. It's kind of a compilation
it's like,
thing
I'm
that
like,
they
some
did.
kind of fucking way, I'm gonna find this record somewhere so that we can.
The fact that it's out of print is absurd. Why isn't somebody bought this? There's got to be somebody that we can contact and give. We can do a GoFundMe or something.
I can tell you why. Because Greg has told me the label that owns it went out of business. They have tried for decades to get the rights to it back, and it's been bounced around so many times they don't even know who legally owns the fucking thing anymore.
Now we can do it. So in the movie world, I have been part of trying to find the rights to movies that were lost, and I've been, not like I really helped, but I was the one poking people with sharp sticks, and we got it done.
I
guarantee if you could find it, Greg would be very happy to know.
I mean, I was gonna say, I know there's horror movies out there that they freaking have like disappeared for 30 years, 40 years, and then they find them again. Like it's.
Oh yeah, there was one, and the one that I really wanted was called The Convent. Fun movie with Adrienne Barbeau as a zombie killing nun.
I know that movie. I know that fucking movie.
It was lost. It was out of print, even though it wasn't that old of a movie. And it turns out the home video rights had accidentally been sold to a German company that they thought they were just buying the rights to release it on home video in Germany. No, they bought the theatrical. They bought everything. They didn't even know they had it. But somehow, man, the people at the wonderful Alamo Draft House tracked them down. And now all of a sudden, now you can see Convent on any streaming platform. They got a high def transfer and we're good. And it's just because literally somebody screwed up on a contract and sold them the entire movie and they didn't even know they owned it. And I guarantee you this is something like that. Somebody bought the whole catalog, had no idea who the Cyclone Temple band was, and it's sitting in a file cabinet somewhere.
Probably. I mean, same thing with the Doctor Who shit they lost. They freaking had to go to the people that actually had on VHS and fucking get it from them.
Well, that was because the BBC just started recording over episodes, but that
and the fire and the storage facility fire. But so I had one honorable mention for this album. The Powers That Be is my honorable mention. The Spell Can't Be Broken is my number 5. Fake Healer is number 4. That's the first song I really fucking dug in this like crazy. Fake Healer was such a good song. The chorus is amazing, and the drums at the end blew me the fuck away.
Yeah,
I actually got my buddy at work was like, dude, he's like, stop tapping your fucking foot over there. It's annoying as shit. And I'm like, I'm a drummer, dude. I fucking hear a bass drum like that, and I'm fucking tapping along with it. Like I fucking, I'm like, it's Metal Church. And he's like, I don't care. Stop it. I'm trying to talk on the phone. And I can't fucking concentrate. He's got ADHD like a motherfucker and anxiety, so it's just a bad combination. But number 3 was Of Unsound Mind. That's a fucking amazing song. Number 2, It's a Secret. Nobody's fucking mentioned that yet. I'm amazed because like It's a Secret is such a good song. The drums
are all good. Yeah.
The drums are so incredible. The drums in that song are the best drums in the whole fucking track. Like
Arrington is a lost drum hero because he retired fairly young and nobody remembers him. But I'm sorry, Arrington was one of the absolute best of that era.
And of course, my number 1 has to be CJ. Kind of killed it. I was like, God damn it! But my number 1 it has to be Anthem for the Estranged. It has to be. I fucking love that song. I've heard that song. I just never knew who the band was.
Right.
I know I've heard that song though.
It's almost a 10-minute song. You gotta love it.
Yeah, and I mean, you're right. Metallica fucking copied that shit 3 times in a row. But
and you know it because Metallica were really good friends with this. I mean, John Marshall worked for Hetfield, so they definitely heard it before Metallica did any of that Black Album stuff.
Well, that scene was so closed back then that like even on this record, Mike came from Heretic.
Yeah.
And then
David Wayne joined Heritage.
David Wayne left and formed Reverend with the rest of the band of Heretic and formed Reverend which was,
Yeah,
they just changed places basically is what they did.
literally.
Um, so, but I mean, both were phenomenal singers and both were sadly taken, way before they should have gone
Hmm.
for different reasons. Um, you know,
Both
but
stupid reasons. That's what kills me. Both so stupid. David Wayne just didn't go to the ER when he should have, and
yeah,
Mike
I
Howe
think,
just couldn't get the health care he needed
yeah,
because
Yep.
we've decided that giving people pain relief is bad. Don't get
Yep.
me started. Don't get me started.
Oh, yeah, don't get damn. Trust me, I do enough of that in my paranormal show. I don't need to go into the medical community on this one. But CJ, what album did you want to bring to combat Metal Church,
you
and why this one?
I mentioned Wednesday 13 a couple weeks ago. You said you had never heard them. And I knew that if you heard Wednesday, you were going to love Wednesday because one, of the horror connection. Two, Wednesday is fucking amazing. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Uh, and three, I love this fucking band. The fact that it had Joey Jordanson playing guitar instead of drums
Mhm.
um, with Wednesday. I brought the Murder Dolls. It is technically a greatest hits record. It's a combination of their first and their second. There was a breakup, and then they had to kick Trip Ison out of the band because Trip had turned out to be a fucking pedophile, basically. Trip was also a member of Dope. Um, both bands kicked him out at the same time.
He went
Um,
to federal pound me in the ass prison.
yes,
Happens a lot in metal for some reason.
Mhm.
rightfully so. But they had to regroup. This was one of the last records that Joey worked on,
Mhm.
actually. Um, this was mostly a greatest hits, but there were 3 songs on this that were new songs. So I brought Murder Dolls just because I fucking love this band. I love Wednesday 13 overall, but mostly I thought Jeremy's going to dig this band. I know he is. And if he says different, then I'm going to kick him in his ass.
Oh, I'll get to what I think in a hot second. Don't you worry, don't you worry. But what did Mr. Dark think of this Murder Dolls compilation?
I've been in the Murder Doll since they first came out. I mean, again, that whole horror metal crossover. I'm a big Slipknot guy, so it was like, oh, I got to hear this. And my wife at the time, my late wife, this was straight up her alley. She was very much into the horror billy, horror punk kind of that whole aesthetic,
Yes.
the fashion and everything. So as soon as she saw a Murder Dolls video, she was like, "This is one of my new favorite bands." So we listened to those albums over and over and over. And yeah, no, I dig them. They're fantastic. I like Wednesday's 13 stuff. Okay, it's not as good as Murder Dolls, but I dig it. Um, but yeah, seeing this, that it was at first, I had to go find it because it's like, this is not a Murder Dolls record. I know Murder Dolls. They
It's
did
sort
2
of the
records.
greatest. But
Yeah, then I found it and it's like, oh, okay. And it helped once I stopped searching for Wednesday 13 because I was tired and I did not think properly. It's like, it's not a Wednesday 13 album. Murder Dolls. But yeah,
Ah,
no, I mean, this is a great collection. This is a fantastic primer for everything Murder Dolls. They hit most of the highlights. There's a couple tracks I probably would have included if memory serves. Sometimes I cross over with, okay, wait, which was Wednesday 13? Which was Murder Dolls?
right,
But certainly I do love the White Wedding cover. It's a really good cover. They're the perfect band to cover it. Uh, my Dark Place Alone, great song, fantastic song. Welcome to the Strange is another. Just they have so many anthems.
they
Murder
do.
Dolls was all about anthems, and so
Oh,
yeah,
there.
another fantastic anthem. 1976 that is just 2 minutes of just rage. I don't want to be a suicide. I just want to commit homicide. I mean, it's just, you can't listen to that song and frown. It's just so
right.
totally over the top.
You can't listen to
Um,
most of the stuff and frown. There's no way in hell you can listen to
right,
most of
but
it and
that
frown.
one in particular, because it's just 2 minutes of just pure punk rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Dead in Hollywood is my absolute favorite. I love Dead in Hollywood, always have. And it almost has a little bit different feel from the rest of their stuff. But yeah, no, I love this. I absolutely love this because I've always been into them. I do have, real quick, if you want, I have a great Murder Dolls adjacent story.
Oh, nice.
I used to know a woman who worked for Roadrunner UK back when that was around, and she was in artist relations, a.k.a. she was the person they would send to, like, okay, so-and-so has to be picked up from the airport. They need to make sure they have a car. You'll go with them because then you need to get them over to this venue for a photo shoot, that kind of stuff. She
Get him
just
to the
was
get him to the Greek, yeah.
literally, it was Get Him to the Greek, but with Slipknot and all the other Roadrunner bands of the early 2000s and late 90s, early 2000s. And she was at the Roadrunner UK after party for the Kerrang Awards one year. And Danny Filth comes in, if you know who I'm speaking of, Mr. Cradle of Spam himself.
I love Dave Filth. He's fucking good.
He's, and the little dwarf. He had come in, and he was already drunk. And he, and I understand he's sober now and all that stuff. Look, I'm talking about at the time. And he started hitting up some girls at the bar and was apparently being very rude when they turned him down. Well, Ben Graves, the drummer, the late great drummer, another guy who passed way too soon. Ben Graves, the drummer of Murder Dolls, who, whether you know or not, was like 6'6" and like a string bean. But he was one of those dudes. He's a string bean, but he's a country boy from North Carolina. So he didn't take too kindly to this little fella treating them ladies bad. No, just wait. He comes up behind him, grabs him by Danny Filth by his belt and by the collar of his shirt, perp walks him to the entrance of the club, picks him up, and throws him to the curb, and he lands in the gutter. And then they wouldn't let him back in, so Danny Filth is standing on the sidewalk, just shaking his fists and swearing, "Don't you know?" And that just warms the cockles of my heart that at one point in Danny Filth's egotistical little life, he got dwarf tossed. And it was by Ben Graves of all people.
I actually, I heard the story, but I heard it different. I heard that he grabbed him by the throat and picked him up like the Undertaker and threw him out.
You know what? It's a legend at this point, right?
Yeah.
It's a legend.
That was what Joe brother's told band me. Was actually signed to Roadrunner.
Yeah. In the UK,
Dirty Americans.
Yeah, no, but that, I tell that story every chance I can because I can't stand Cradle of Spam. Oh, I can't stand them. And so
you're lucky. I considered them for a hot second for this episode, but then it didn't last long. But I considered them for a hot second.
Oh, if you would have made me listen to a whole Cradle of Filth album, I would have never forgiven you.
Yeah, my two friends just quit the band and are suing Danny right now. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of news on that.
Oh, yeah, those guys. Oh, yeah, no, I've been following all that. And sometimes you and I got to talk Des Fafara because that's a dude I don't understand.
You do not want to
half of the world says he is the best human being on the planet, and half of the world says he is the devil incarnate.
He is.
And that's what I don't get because I know people on both sides, which is weird. I know people.
There are two people in the metal industry I would hit with a car. One is Des, the other is Glenn Benton of Deicide.
Oh, yeah, nobody would miss him.
I
have Glenn Benton stories too, but that's another
with a car and
that's another podcast. I have a wonderful Glenn Benton story, but you don't. It's another podcast.
I've got the story of how I tried to kill Glenn Benton.
Oh God!
I
don't blame me.
No. CJ will have to get you on his. He'll get you on his punk show to talk about all those stories.
Sure.
But, I'm saying just go ahead and keep talking.
I have a handful.
But so you're of course, CJ, you're not wrong. I fucking love the Murder Dolls. I have a new obsession now, and and I freaking I looked at the bio and saw who was in it. I was like, ooh, Joey. And then like I saw Wednesday 13. I was like, that motherfucker. Now I know why he brought this band. I'm like, because I just missed fucking 2 weeks ago not being able to go the day before we got 22 inches of snow. I could have went to fucking Worcester and saw Lord of the Lost with Wednesday 13 and Birthday Massacre opening.
Oh man, that would have been a killer show.
And and Lord of the, as you know, CJ, Lord of the Lost has been my obsession for the last like 6 months. So,
I know. And I haven't liked their newer stuff, but I would still go see them. I'd still go see them, period. But with Wednesday opening, that would be an absolute.
Because he has a song with Wednesday. He did a single with Wednesday for the tour.
Mm-hmm.
So
and look, Birthday Massacre. I don't like their newer stuff, but back when they remembered they had a guitar player, they were really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like when Dream Theater came last year. Planky wanted to go see Dream Theater, and I was like, I've seen him a bunch of times. And he's like, there's some guy named Devin Townsend opening. I'm there. Let's go.
Wait, what now? Excuse me?
Yeah, I was like, when are we leaving? And he goes, who is he? And I was like, only the greatest fucking.
How do you hear Devin? Who doesn't know who the fuck Devin Townsend is? My God.
Hey.
Well, Planky's a very focused on Dream Theater. He had never heard of Devin. And when we got to the show, when he saw Devin perform, he was just, and he was like, holy shit. He's like, dude, he's not only brilliant, he's fucking funny. And I was like, dude, Devin is a complete fucking character, bro. Like, Devin
he is.
Devin. Like,
he is literally out of his mind, but now he has meds.
Anybody who writes an album about a fucking extraterrestrial trying to find the best coffee in the universe is a genius. Is a fucking genius.
An entire tour with puppets.
Yeah, that's not even the top 5 of the crazy shit that Devin has done.
Oh, I know.
If you want to see something fucking hilarious, watch the MTV interview that Steve Vai did for the section. Devin sang on it.
Yeah, that was the first time I heard it. It was the first Vi album.
And Devin is in the background, basically wearing a wrestling leotard that he's got hiked up his ass. He's running in the background, and he's just baking faces, and Steve's no idea that he's sitting there, and Steve's just talking seriously. And Devin's in the background just, fucking just making faces and acting a clown. And the interview guy, the bald-headed dude, I can't remember his name, Adam Curry or something. He's looking at him, and he's like...
Probably would have been Pinfield.
Devin is just like...
He's bald.
He's fucking drunk off his ass. And it's so fucking hilarious, dude. Like, you will piss yourself laughing.
First Vi video they made is that, here's Steve Vai with his band.
Shit about Dream Theater, but as soon as he mentioned Devin, it was like, I'm there. I will fucking crawl on my hands and knees there if I have to.
He's playing all of his pretty music, and then here comes Townsend in this leather Hellraiser outfit, stalking out in the video and just starts howling, and you're like, what is this? This is Steve Vai?
But freaking, Murder Dolls blew me the fuck away. I have a new obsession now. I have to know. I have to go listen to everything they've done now, because it's just it's like if Morty met fucking he's got to restart for his audio play, but to me it's like if Morty met Youngblood. That's what it sounds like almost. If Morty met Youngblood.
I mean, sure.
Because they got the Lordy fucking types of songs, but it's more like almost
they tap into the same well that Lord Eye does, which is the horror punk subgenre, which is really obscure. Everybody knows the Misfits, but they were not horrorbilly or really horror punk. They just influenced those guys. But you get into bands, like Grave Robber and Coffin Cats, and then you're like, oh, I see. And Murder Dolls is kind of like metal meets that stuff. Like if Coffin Cats did a metal record, that'd be a good description.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I liked them. I like them a lot, and the fact that they're like a super group kind of like blew me away. I was like, that's kind of fucking awesome. I am not a Static X fan by any fucking degree, but I'll take the guitar player from Static X if I'm gonna take anybody. So it's fine.
Well, former, because they got rid of him. He was the pedo.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay. But
he was Static X's rhythm player for a little while, but Nakamura or whatever his name is in Static X he was like their regular guitar player until he left, and that's when Eisen took over. But then he got busted.
Yeah, I honestly keep waiting to hear the day Violent J. I keep waiting to hear that Violent J actually gets busted on it eventually. But
who?
Violent J.
Oh, Who knows, man?
It's rumored. A lot of juggalos dropped off the scene because of that. Because the rumor started like 2 years ago. But yeah, fucking Murder Dolls, new obsession, definitely. I fucking love their lyrics. I love their fucking music. They're fucking amazing. I did like the first half of the album a lot better than the second half. I will say that. It kind of dropped off in the second half, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, why did all of a sudden go from great and amazing to like okay? Like,
because you've got some B-sides, you've got some, you've got cuts from two different albums, you've got some new cut. It's that whole, it's uneven because it's a mishmash,
Yeah, two of the songs were new.
Yeah. And of course, White Wedding was just a single they put out. It wasn't even on an album.
Well, I figured that because of the name of the album. Right.
So yeah, no, but if you go listen to their two actual albums, they are much more cohesive and they flow better.
Well, CJ, what are your top 5 Murder Dolls?
Number 5 is My Dark Place Alone. Number 4 is Death Valley Superstars. I thought that was like the highlight of the second record. Number 3 is Summertime Suicide. Number 2 is Motherfucker See, Motherfucker Do. But if you don't know, the whole reason I brought this record, because it's my favorite word, and it's like my theme song in life, other than Michael Monroe's Death Jail or Rock and Roll, or Dead Jail or Rock and Roll. My theme song in life is the song I love to say fuck. I play this song 5 to 6 times a week, just for no other reason.
Your funeral,
think it's a hilarious song.
I love to say fuck. That's what you're saying. That is going to be the song to play at your funeral.
Oh,
actually, Dead Jail or Rock and Roll is what they play
right.
at my funeral.
We can do two.
But yeah, one of the reasons I love Wednesday is because he wrote a song called "I Love to Say Fuck," and I think it's hilarious.
I mean, he's not the first person to do something like that, though. I'm going to say that.
No, Edsel Dope has, Edsel has written a bunch of songs.
I mean,
in the vein of it. So
and I believe a certain ICP said "fuck" 93 times in a song. So I mean,
yeah, but
yeah.
Fuck the World's a legendary song, dude. But fuck preschoolers. Like, why not? But what are your top songs off this there, Mr. Dark, if you know what you're saying?
Well, I listed them off.
Okay, I thought you did.
Yeah. No, I listed them off. And my personal was Dead in Hollywood. It's just always been my favorite Murder Dolls.
Well, I'm sorry to say for you, because I have two honorable mentions for this album, and that's the first honorable mention is Dead in Hollywood. It was literally the first song I put on my list, but it just kept getting pushed down. It's an amazing song, though. I love songs that reference horror movies. Horror Fiction by Lordy is one of my favorite songs of all time, and that's how I got Chancey and the Lordy. Is fucking.
I just really like the keyboard work in it, the kind of spooky keyboards and stuff. It speaks.
Oh, it does, and I mean,
my horror loving heart.
I love the Lordy horror movie.
No, it was on the fucking bracket we did for. It was on one of the brackets we did, and I couldn't fucking find it anywhere. Like, dark. I think I couldn't. You couldn't even pay for it. Like, it wasn't even on Amazon for purchase or anything. I was like, what the fuck?
I'll have to send it to you. I have it.
Oh,
I have the version of it. I can.
Because Andrew and Don said they saw it a long time ago, like when it was on streaming at some point, and
yeah.
Don's like, wait a minute, is that the one where they have a song called Hard Rock Hallelujah? I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But
you're talking about Dark Floors?
Yes.
Yeah, Dark Floors, yeah.
It's
unless it just got added to streaming somewhere finally.
Let me see. I'm trying to find out. Ignore me. Go on. I'll
find out. My second honorable mention was White Wedding because it's a fucking great cover. I love that song to begin with, and the fact they did it was just golden. I love a good metal cover of a fucking 80s song. But my number 5 was Nothing's Gonna Be All Right. That's a fucking amazing song. The lyrics are so fucking good. And my number 4, due to everything that's been going on in my life for the last 3 years, and the reason I don't call Mr. Dark by his real name, my number 4 is Bored Till Death, because I love the fucking lyrics in that. Sick of your lies and all your shit, the thought of you living. Like, in the fact they don't even finish that sentence. Like, I fucking love that. I got an obsession with Smith and Wesson. I fucking love that line. I'm like, oh, this is so hitting home right now. I love to say "fuck" with my number 3. It's a fucking amazing song, but I couldn't put it in the top 2. My number 2 was "My Dark Place Alone." That's fucking dark and amazing.
That's a great
The
song.
the lights are on, but there's no one home. I fucking love that line. And Death Valley Superstars was the number 1. It was Manson-esque. It was like a man. It reminded me of a early Marilyn Manson song. And you don't need luck when you don't give a fuck. I love that line. That's been my motto my whole life. You don't need luck when you don't give a fuck. So it's fucking perfect. I mean, yeah, I knew right away. As soon as I put it on, I'm like, as soon as the first song started playing, I'm like, CJ knew what the fuck he was doing with this. I think. Okay. I'm like, CJ knew.
I figured you would dig it, just partly to the horror theme, but partly just because Wednesday writes really great songs.
I like that kind of fucking lyricism, like with freaking Lordy or Motionless in White and that type of shit. So
yeah, and like I said, he was even before Motionless in White and Ice Nine Kills and those bands came along. Wednesday was kind of one of the early ones because even before Murder Dolls, he had Frankenstein Drag Queens from Planet 69. He had 3. I think he had like 3 bands before.
Oh, he's in a shitload of stuff. I looked into him when I saw he was opening for Lord of the Law, so I started looking into him a little bit. But
so he's done this a really long time, so he's really good at the sort of entendres of Home Sweet Homicide and making songs with really cool titles. But
I mean, they're basically Rob Zombie with a better voice.
Yeah,
to some extent. I mean, the style's quite a bit different, but when it comes to the lyrics and the aesthetics, yeah, very, very, very.
Yeah.
And I miss you mentioning them, but I love that you mentioned the Necromantics because the Coffin Cats and the Necromantics are both.
Coffin Cats, Necromantics have that whole horror building.
Coffin Cats are from Detroit. I'm good friends with them.
I got to see Coffin Cats live a number of years ago.
As well as a band called the Groovy Ghoulies.
Yep.
Who are fucking amazing if you ever get a chance to check
my wife was the one. She was the one who dragged me to Coffin Cats. I'd never heard of them. And she was like, we're going to this show. And I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah. And then I go and they just absolutely tore. The reason why I have no hair is the Coffin Cats just tore it right off of me.
Yeah.
My friend Steve was, man. And they it was in a tiny little club over here in Dallas that's gone now. But oh man, did they shred.
I lost my friend Steve in a shooting in the Harpo's parking lot. We had gone to see Motorhead. Steve's band was getting ready to be in that same group. I had a band called the Feisty Cadavers. And
good name.
Sadly got shot in the head by a crackhead. Because Harpo's is a piece of shit place and fuck Harpo's. So I say this with my whole chest. Any band that plays Harpo's can kiss my ass, whether I support you or not.
It is even I've heard of it and I've never been wherever it is.
It's a terrible neighborhood.
I've heard about it in ICP Legend. I'm pretty sure Jay wrote about his biography. Like that's where I know it from. But
anywho, yeah.
So, guess it's time to get to the third album of the night, and
and real quick, Dark Floors is streaming on Apple TV in Brazil.
Okay.
Listen, I have a copy of it. I can send you.
South America loves Lordy. Come on now.
I mean, that's all. That cracks me. That is the most obscure. It's not just Apple TV. No, just only in Brazil. One place. No, it's on sale digitally in Norway.
Well, I mean that's good. That's because they're from that fucking area.
Yeah,
but
they're not even streaming in Norway.
I mean, and the fact that South Americans love all that metal, like type of metal.
I was gonna say Brazil's got a massive death metal.
Iron Maiden and Cradle of Filth were fucking huge in South America for most of their career. Like that's what blew them up. But well, it's time to get to the third album tonight because I was supposed to bring this. I originally was going to bring this album on the show. The first episode, Jamie took over when Chansey had to go away, and this is totally a shout out to my buddy Chansey, my original co-host. That I know you never met Mr. Dark, but CJ knows him damn well. This is his favorite band of all time, and he introduced me to them. And this is not their best album anywhere near, but
I hope not. Oops, did I say that out loud?
their two best albums have been brought on already. I brought on one of their albums fucking twice for God's sakes because it was just I had to do it because I brought their best album on a second time for the creator of Tales of the Crypt, the guy who wrote everything for the Crypt Keeper.
Oh.
So
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Alan Katz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alan Katz.
I'm bad with names.
He brought on Midnight Club, something like that. Oh no, Thieves in Bach. He brought on this fucking Thieves in Jerusalem, I think it's called. He brought on this band I never heard of that was very acid jazz, so I had to bring on that album for him. But Dog Fashion Disco is my co-host Chancey's favorite fucking band. They are incredible, and I'm like, I almost was gonna bring the first Mystic Prophecy album on because I thought it went more with your album. But I'm like, you know what? I even sent it to CJ, and then I like unsent it really fast. So I'm like, scrap that. I'm like, here's what I'm doing. I was gonna bring this album on fucking year ago when Jamie was my co-host for a few minutes, but the guest had a children's show, and she saw the name of the album, and she was like, "Can we do something that is not erotic called Erotic Massage?" So I was like, okay. I ended up bringing on Big Willie Style because there's still a pun in there, but she didn't catch that one. But yeah, I know she didn't catch it. I was fucking dying. But I fucking love Dog Fashion Disco. They're one of the most original fucking bands I ever heard in my life. And this album is their first fucking album ever. It came out originally, like I think in like 96, 97. It got re-released in 2017, which is the version that is on Spotify. But Dog Fashion Disco's Erotic Massage is just, it's, like I said, it's not their best work ever. I mean, they even say in their Spotify, like, bio, like, oh, check out these two albums if you want to get to know us. Erotic Massage is not one of those two albums. Adultery and, oh my God. Jesus Christ. Committed to a Bright Future. Adultery and Committed to a Bright Future are their two best albums. Committed to a Bright Future is their best album by far. Adultery, which is where I got introduced to them, is kind of like a concept album, and it's fucking incredible. It's dark and disturbing and everything I love about music. So, but I decided to bring on, out of the few albums of theirs I didn't bring on so far, I wanted to bring Erotic Massage because some of my favorite songs are on this album. Just the rest of the album's hit and miss. But some of the best songs they do is on this album for sure. Like I'll get to that in a minute. But well, all right, Mr. Dark. Since you already kind of previewed it, what did you think of this album?
Well, Mr. Bungle's first album came out in 1991. It was self-titled, produced by John Zorn, and it has so many just legendary songs of chaos and
it was brought on the show a long time ago, and they were inspired by Mr. Bungle. That's one of the bands.
Oh wait, that's not the album we're talking about, because that was the album I just listened to.
Yeah,
this Erotic Massage album. It was just a cover of every song off of the first Mr. Bungle album with entire sections lifted note for note. There's inspired by, and then we're just gonna straight up rip off our favorite band.
Oh, where's Chancey when I need him? Where's Chancey when I need him to hear this shit so he could fucking give his like pissed off face?
I'm sorry. I'm listening to it and I'm like, okay, that was a direct lift from Travolta. Okay, that was a direct lift from Egg. That was a direct lift from Girls of War. I mean, it's shameless. And look, I get that. One of my favorite bands, I love this band called The Crucified. They were an early crossover band, but their first album, look, they were kids and they really liked Minor Threat. And that entire album is basically just Minor Threat's greatest hits re-recorded with new lyrics. And so, it happens. And sometimes bands can go on and grow from that. So I'll listen to those other records. I want to see what else they can do. Because for this album, it's just, we're going to copy everything Mike Patton has ever done, especially that first Mr. Bungle record. And that's that. That's all we're going to do. And they even have the controversial lyrics. They have the carnival music. They have, I had to fight my way through it just to survive this record. I liked Lucifer. Lucifer is the only song on it I like because it was the only song on it that wasn't just straight Mr. Bungle. It was actually interesting. The rest, though, no thank you. Pass.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to listen closer to that Mr. Bungle album again. It's been a long fucking.
Which you should. Years. It's so good.
It's been years since I heard the one time I heard it, but they did take inspiration from Mr. Bungle and Frank Zappa and Weird Al and all those types of bands, of course. But they They get better. They get better. They have another band called Polka Dot Cadaver that is fucking incredible too. It's more metal than this type of music. It's more metal than jazz. But they have an album with that band called Last Call in Jonestown that's fucking amazing. But and wow, what the fuck? Purgatory fuck. Polka Dot Cadaver, Purgatory. What the fuck is it? Oh my god. The best album is called Purgatory something. I can't think what the fuck it's called at this moment. I'm surprised. It's got a song on it called Chloroform Girl. That's fucking incredible. You might have heard that song, honestly. But
I mean, maybe. I've heard about this band forever. I've known all these people kept saying, "Oh my god, they're my favorite band," and I just never got around to listening to them. I don't know why.
They're the most amazing like unknown band I've ever heard. Like that people like never hear. Like everybody say the name to them, they're like, those three words don't belong together. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but listen to the music. But well, hopefully here's a little redemption. CJ, what did you think of this album? Because I know you know Dog Fashion Disco.
I'm actually far more familiar with Polka Dot Cadaver than I am Dog Fashion Disco. This was actually one of the first times that I had actually listened to an entire record by them. I'm not going to say it was the most amazing thing I've ever heard. I did enjoy it for the most part. I love bands that are psychotic. I love bands like Mr. Bungle, Maximum the Hormone, Alip Dopa, bands that you never know. Devin Townsend, for example, you never know what's coming next.
Maximum the Hormone.
Oh, dude. So, have you heard of Alip Dopa? Alip Dopa?
No.
So, imagine if Maximum the Hormone and System of a Down did a record together.
Oh dear.
That's Alip Dopa. They do songs about dinosaurs, space zombies. They are basically a mix of those two bands, and then Devin is writing the lyrics. Okay, they're fucking just, again, like Maximum the Hormone, the most musically psychotic thing. Fucking jazz, hardcore, metal, reggae, blues, lounge music. I mean, I watch their videos and I'm just, the fuck did I just watch? But anyways, I like the variety on this record. I like that there's some heavy stuff, there's some slower stuff. I love bands that kind of are, I don't want to say genreless, but kind of just do their own thing. Yes, it is very, very, very similar to the Mr. Bungle stuff. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Mike Patton is one of them guys. I'm not going to say I love Mike Patton. I respect Mike more than I like him. Mike is very, I kind of have to listen to Mike in small batches. Mike is very eclectic. So, Mike is kind of he's very, very, very good at what he does. But again, he goes through these sort of schizophrenic phases of, one thing to the next, and it's hard to follow sometimes.
Have you heard the country album?
I've heard the majority. Tomahawk.
He just showed out. No. This new. He paired with this country folk. These country
the guy.
brothers.
They're fucking talking.
It's terrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, you're talking about.
Played on like. They were on like the Tonight Show, and I watched it, and it was like, what?
No.
But what?
Yeah. Terrible.
He's out of his damn mind.
But anyways,
he's usually good, but
I actually like this record for the most part. I mean, there was enough songs on it that I got a list.
I mean,
I would probably go back and listen to it more. I was kind of, I don't want to say I was rushing through it, but I was running out of time. So I didn't get to listen to it as deeply as I probably would have.
I mean, it's like I told them, the other two albums they did that are in the middle of their careers are fucking two. If you go to Spotify, it's literally the two they say.
This is something I would listen to in the car. I am known for. I love, even in the wintertime, I love listening to Alip Dopa, Maximum the Hormone, Mr. Bungle with the windows down. just so when I roll up to the light, the people next to me look over at me like,
Oh yeah, same.
"Fuck, are you listening to?"
Oh,
You know, because the look on their face is worth it. Like it's just that.
I've gotten some I've gotten some looks when I'm at the pharmacy in the drive-through listening to their corpse with the window open.
And that's what I'm saying. I love that reaction. You know, I love that look of shock or that look of bewilderment. You know, I love Chris Perez, who was married to Selena. He did a solo record. I listen to his record a lot because it's in Spanish. And you roll up to a light, and here's the long-haired, redneck-looking white guy, and then they look over at you, and they're like listening to this Spanish sort of Tejano rock music, and they're like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bitch, I listen to Spanish. What's up?" And then you just pull off, you know, and they're like, but I love fucking with people, but I like this record. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was gonna.
I
a couple
personally
of the songs way more than others.
I personally, a couple of the songs are my favorite songs they've done, but I personally like Dogfish and Disco a lot better than Polka Dot Cadaver.
I'm the opposite. I like Polka Dot Cadaver.
I like Polka Dot Cadaver to a degree. They had their Purgatory album is like their one good album. What the fuck's it called? Oh my god, how am I blanking on this?
I think Purgatory Circus, ain't it? Or Purgatory? No. Purgatory.
Gonna drive me nuts. But Purgatory Dance Party.
That's it.
Purgatory Dance Party. That's the name of the Polka Dot Cadaver album that I fucking love. But other than that, the rest of their stuff's their new album that Chanty brought on before he left wasn't bad. Echoes from the Hellscape. That wasn't bad. But
that was in my top. That was in my top 5 for
2023. That was a good fucking album. But I mean, Dogfish and Disco I fucking love. This album, I only have one honorable mention. I mean, and CJ knows if I bring an album and there's only one honorable mention, it's not an album I fucking like drool over. If I drool over an album, there's like 10 honorable mentions. But China White's my honorable mention because it's a fun fucking song, and who doesn't like a song about some fucking heroin? But my number 5 is A Corpse is a Corpse because I fucking love that song. Like it's like the most metal song on the album. And it's hilarious because who doesn't love saying that fucking line? A corpse is a corpse, of course it is. Like, but my number 4 was Discontent. That which does not kill you will most likely try again. I fucking love that line. Again and again and again. But number 3 is Oral Spunk, just because I love the fucking music in it so much. And then the top 2 are my 2 favorite songs of this album. They're fucking some of their best songs they ever did. And the Christian dance song is fucking hilarious. It reminds me of the Polka Dot. They eventually did a Polka Dot Cadaver song called "Wolf and Jesus Skin" that kind of like picks up on that, like a little bit more. That's a better song. "Wolf and Jesus Skin" is fucking amazing. But my number 1 is for the music mainly because I love how fucking it goes from acid jazz to fucking like heavy metal so hard. And it's Wait, because I fucking love that song. It's just the way that the chorus is all jazz, like wait, and then it's all like wait. It's like fucking perfect. I love that fucking song. But like I said, there are 2 albums where they're way better albums all together. Fucking Committed to a Bright Future, Magical Band of Fools is one of the best songs you ever hear in your life. Like it's just so fucking funky. But do you have any top songs in this, Mr. Dark?
I would listen to Lucifer again, and that's it. I won't listen to any of the rest of this record with a gun in my head.
That's literally like my least favorite song on this. Actually, no, it's like my second least favorite song on this album. G.I. with Joe or whatever the hell it is like my least favorite song. But I
like Lucifer. It was weird enough. It was different enough, and it was like, okay, they're doing something. They're doing something different here. Okay, this is good. This is interesting. You've got me. Although overall, look, I'm just going to come right out and say it. The try-hard Satanist, oh man, do we hate Christianity lyrics. It's like, if you're going to do that, be clever about it. You know, just like Christian bands get preachy, you can get real preachy with that. They get preachy with it.
They're like, they're not Satanists though at all. Like
I know, but they're pounding you on the head.
Wow.
We're evil.
No, that was just them being dumb the first. Trust me, a Wolf in Jesus Skin is a lot more cleverly put together.
I get it. Well, I mean, just like the Bloodhound Gang. I mean, come on. The silliest band in the
I'll
world.
be in a minute.
What? Oh, they have Bloodhound Gang has a couple of satanic songs just to be offensive. And I feel the same way about those. It's like, guys, go back to singing about pussy, please.
Go,
Please, because you're not
go,
fooling anybody.
go put on your damn rat costumes.
Yeah, it's
But
like Lucifer, evil in Diablo. Come on, man. Just go back
well,
to singing about, abbreviations for fuck. Please.
well, CJ, what are your top songs off this album? I'm done.
Number 5, I got Looking for Love. Number 4, Avantasia. I like the different feel of that one. China White, number 3. Number 2, I have Wait. Wait was the closest song to like what Elite Dopa does, with that really weird going from sort of the lounge music to full on metal. Number 1, though, I had Hypnotic Encounter. I really like the opening of that and the way it kind of changed up to heavier and with the effects and all of that. So, but yeah, I'm with you 100%. That's the reason I hated Deicide so much, because the very first song they released, Lunatics of God's Creation, and I was like,
well, and also he's a fraud. He's a total fraud. I can tell those
like
stories.
Fucking snore, dude. Like,
he's a complete fraud.
Oh, I know he
doesn't believe in anything.
Well,
he believes in money.
Yeah, I mean, well, him and Danny Filth both, but Danny Filth's a fucking Christian. But
who?
Danny Filth. He's a Christian.
Who is Danny Filth?
Singer of Cradle of Filth.
Oh, Filth. Danny Filth. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Danny Filth. He's a Christian. He said in interviews before, like, I'm a Christian. We just do this for theatrics.
Yeah. But that at least I get. He's theatrical, whereas Benton with the cross in his forehead and his music videos, this song is about our beliefs. You don't believe in shit. You're a fucking fraud. Go away. Anyway.
But
for another podcast.
Folks, we brought you your albums thrice for tonight. We'll be back next week with 3 more albums. Do we know what they are yet? No fucking clue, but hopefully the person gets back to me tomorrow with their choice, so we'll figure that out. But Mr. Dark, where can they find you if they so dare to dwell upon your lair?
I am at Mr. Dark DFW, Mr. Dark DFW, over on Facebook, and right now that's about it. But it is coming. It really is. And if you watch that account, you'll find out when it does.
The slowest moving porn ever, yes.
Basically.
But, CJ,
all edging, no climax.
Ooh, edging's been a theme in our brackets lately for Lisa, because she doesn't know what it is.
That is the theme of my podcast. All edging, zero climax.
And CJ, where can they find you?
Just type in Music God CJ Playing pretty much anywhere. It's musicgodcjplaying.rocks is the website. Trying to point everything there. Author page is coming. Music page is coming. We got the record. It's being mastered. We're going to do the whole rollout campaign for it. That's going to be around my birthday, April 20th. We're going to try to roll it out. But mostly just type in Music God CJ Playing and you'll find me on the Fachi Book, the Tiki Talk, and all the other weird, weird places.
It's true. It's true. Because I had to Google him the other day to get his email address to get to a former guest. But, folks, you can find both your musers anywhere podcasters are found. And, of course, you can find us on Facebook as Squatchy Largefoot, on X and the Gram as that Juggalo Bastard. And, of course, YouTube. Maniacal Music Musings on YouTube. Everything is there. Me in all states of being is on that in all different shows. So go check it out. You'll see some funny shit from the earlier days where me and Chancey just didn't know what the fuck we were doing yet. But go check it out. Until then, have a good night, everybody. And we'll thank Mr. Dark for coming on.
Thank you. Good seeing you.